Why does he want to make sure his own son learns obedience?
It's rules.
It's love.
Right.
He's showing you love.
Right.
That way when you grow up, you won't die from being a disobedient,
Right.
unruly person, right? That's why fathers discipline their children. Let's read Deuteronomy 7:6 first.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now, God has a chosen people, and he loves them, and he says they're above everybody else on the earth. That doesn't sound like hatred at all, right? That sounds like he has a people that he loves, and he says they're above everyone else. But do you know who those people are? You know who those people are. What are their names? What does the world call them? I need y'all to come closer and look at this sign. Look at the top of the sign. On your left side is what God calls his people. On the right side is what the world calls his people. This is what the oppressors call God's people. And if you look at the names on this chart, you'll see that all of these people are oppressed. And they all are the children of God.
That's right.
You don't see the names of the people that aren't oppressed on this sign at all. They're not oppressed. They're not on the sign. So why are the oppressors oppressing the people of God? And the people of God don't know who the people of God are. It's a question, right? So we know God loves somebody, and he has a chosen people. Who are they? So according to this chart, what does God call you? Where are you from? Yeah.
I'm from Trinidad.
You're from Trinidad. Is your father from Trinidad as well?
No, he's Vincentian.
Vincent? Vincent?
Same thing.
Same thing? So you're Benjamin. God will call you Benjamin. Right here, West Indies. Right?
Yes.
Where you from? Where's your father from?
American Black, Judah.
American Black. God calls you Judah. Where you from? Where's your father from? You're from Florida. God calls you Judah. Understand? It's that simple to identify where we're from, by where our fathers are from. And all our forefathers went through the captivity down here, right? Did your forefathers go through that? Yes, that's how you ended up in Trinidad, right? How about your forefathers? How did your forefathers get from west coast of Africa to America? They went through that, right? They went through the slave trade. Same thing with your forefathers, right? They all went through the slave trade. So we just identified somebody out of the scriptures that actually matches up the people that are standing in front of me. So let's for instance, let's get a description of what will happen to the people, God's people, that happen to nobody else. Deuteronomy 28:64.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other.
So who that happened to? How did we get scattered? By slavery, right? By slavery. We know our forefathers went through slavery on slave ships, right? So we know that happened. Did you know the slave ships was in there as well? It was prophesied a long time ago. We didn't write it, but it's been in the Bible the whole time. So if we can show you in the Bible that God said his children would go through slavery, then you would know that you were the ones that God was talking about the whole time, right? Right. Read. We're on 28:68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
All right, if you know the story about why Moses went back to save the people in Egypt, what was their status in Egypt? They were slaves in Egypt. So God didn't send us back. He didn't send us back to Egypt, did he? So actual Egypt. So the Israelites never went back in Egypt after Moses came and got them, right? So they never went back to Egypt. But let's finish this. So we know that the condition of the people. So when he said, "I'm gonna send you into Egypt again," that means when we was in Egypt, was in slavery. So if he's going to send us back into Egypt again, what is he really saying? We're going to send you back into what? He's going to send you back into slavery. Well, let's see how he sent us in slavery. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, who else that happened to? Have you seen anywhere in the history book the white man with a slave on ships? No. Chinese man with a slave on ships? You don't see it. You saw the Arab man going to slave on ships. It did not happen. Who went into slavery on ships? All these people on this sign. All these people that's on this sign. These are the children of God. Through that condition, you know that they are the children of God because they went into slavery on ships. Just like the Bible said. You can't find no other race of people that went through that. So all these people are one nation of people. They are the Israelites, according to the Bible. Finish that.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So the same way Moses said it was going to happen, that's what happened.
Yes,
So Moses said, you're going to go into slavery on ships. And we're like, nah, that ain't going to happen. We just walked out of Egypt. And then, but it happened. 3,000 years later, it happened, right? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And what was our homeland when, after Moses was done with us? He said, we're not going to see our homeland again, because go to Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. So after Moses came and saved us, what did we have to do? What was the conditions that we was in for 40 years walking around the desert with Moses? What did we have to do? I just gave the answer away, right? We walked around through the desert for 40 years. But then we went into where? The promised land. What's the promised land? What's the land that was promised to us? What was our homeland? Huh? No, that's not our homeland. We're not Ethiopian. The Ethiopians are actually Africans or Hamites. We're Israelites. So what was the land that was promised to the Israelites? It's named after the Israelites. So that land would be Israel. The land of Israel is named after us. We're not named after it. The Israelites came first, then the land of Israel came. Because when we went in, it was called the land of Canaan. And we conquered it. You understand that? So go back to Deuteronomy 28, 68. That's where we were, right? No. Oh yeah, Deuteronomy 1 and 1. We're going to see what we were doing. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea.
All right. So when Moses freed us, when we walked us out of Egypt, we walked through the wilderness for 40 years. And right before we walked into Jerusalem, or the land of Israel, we got reiterated the laws of God, right? So the laws of God were given to us, right? So if we're God's people, and we know we're above everybody else, somebody explain to me why we're in the condition we're in right now. Where do we live, for instance? I know you live right there, because I just saw you walking over there. Things like that. Where do we live at? People that look like us, where do we live? Bad conditions. The hood, the reservations, the barrios. We all live in bad conditions because our oppressors put us there. Sometimes we think, hey, I bought that house because it's a good deal. No, you bought a house in the hood because it was designed for you to buy a house in the hood. It looked like a good deal because you were taught that was a good deal. But it's not really a good deal. You have your own land? No. You know how you know? Because if you had your own land, you wouldn't be paying taxes for it. Right? But we pay taxes for all that stuff. What happened to us that we ended in the conditions where we think we're good, but we're actually not. We're actually living in squalor and don't even realize it. This can't be good. A whole race of people living in the same condition everywhere in the world. Nobody see nothing wrong with that. Let's see what happened. Deuteronomy 28:15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, God gave us a condition. So there's a condition. I brought up a condition again, right? God said, you my children, here's the condition. If you don't listen to what I tell you, you're going to be cursed. So for us to be in these conditions right now that we're in, we must have not have done what?
Disobedience.
We were disobedient. So, like the Father he is, he punishes his children. And then his punishments are called curses. Understand that part so far, right? Let's see what the first one was.
Verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the cities.
Like what you was talking about, right? We live in squalor and don't even realize it. We think it's good conditions. Say, I bought this house, I think it's a good house. But no, you were taught that was a good house. When you look around, everybody around you black, look just like you. There's something wrong with this. If we live in a country that's equal and free, and everybody has the same opportunities and same privileges, then it should be mixed up more than this, right? Right? So that means what? We're not equal or free. We're conditioned to think that we're equal and free, but we're not really. Let's keep reading.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Cursed in the field. So down here, we recognize when we're cursed in the field, right? Our brothers that are Native Americans and Hispanics, they recognize when they were cursed in the field as well. They all went through the same thing. It was cursed in the field, right? But not so much today do we recognize that we're cursed in the field. Like, you retired? Still work? Retired? You're retired then, right? What was your job field while you was working? If you don't mind me asking. You worked in the hospital. Good job? A good career or job? Just a job. What about you, sir? Say again? You cut grass. Oh, you don't enjoy it, do you? At all. How about you? How old are you? 21. So you work? Is it the job you like? A job is a job. Just a job. But the fact that you all have to work jobs proves what? You're cursed. If you're in your own land, on your own property, you have acres and acres of land. Do you have to work? Or do you have to just work your land? You just got to work your land. What you going outside to work for somebody else for when you got all that land? You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between a job.
So what about the people who like own their business? What about them?
They own their business?
Yo, is they cursed too?
Yeah, they curse. Hey, give me that, Baruch. You're gonna find out that our people, just cause if they look like us, they curse. If you know that they are so-called African American, so-called Haitian, Jamaican, and these people that's on this sign, so-called, they curse. That's right. Like, well, look at what's her name? Oprah Winfrey. Rich, right?
She cursed too.
She cursed. Can she shop anywhere she wanted? She can? So you too young. But there was one time, Oprah was a billionaire. She walked in the store and the people wouldn't sell her a purse. They're like, we don't sell to y'all. That was in France. So is that a curse or not? That's a curse. They based it on skin color. That's a curse. Right. Let's get that.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Y'all heard that? We are yet this day in our captivity. Now I'm going to explain how we know we're still cursed and still in captivity. Read.
Where thou hast scattered us.
So who scattered us? First off, remember we didn't keep the laws, so who said they was going to scatter us? God said he was going to scatter us. So I know a lot of times we point the finger and say, the white man did this. He didn't want to put us on ships and put us all over the world and sold us everywhere, right? But who said it first? Did the white man come with that idea on his own? God did. We disobeyed God. But let's start from the top again.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Be subject to what?
Be subject to payments.
You pay taxes? You curse. You don't pay taxes? I bet you do. You buy something out of the store? Yeah. Is it sales tax on it? You pay taxes, bro. You pay taxes. There's no way around it. You go pay a tax. You take the toll road. You take the toll road. Don't you got to pay that? Yeah. You cursed. It ain't your road. You got to use somebody else's.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
We used to scream Black Power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.